I see a lot of people sometimes, they talk about how, they're denouncing their faith or renouncing their faith and all that stuff. And they're not Christians anymore. They're not serving God anymore. Let me tell you something. Anyone that served God for a while will agree with this. When you have a genuine encounter and relationship with the Lord Jesus, it's not something that you can just shake off and go back and do whatever you want to do. The reason why people that seem to leave the faith, because they were never in the faith in the first place. When you have an encounter with the Lord, it forever changes your life. When you understand this Jesus that you're serving, that he is not just the God of what people talk about. I had to realize that God was not just a God of my mother, my father, my parents, but I came to an understanding and a place in my life where Jesus became my Jesus. He became personal. It's so easy for people to just give up on God and just say, Lord, forget you, I'm done, because you've never had an encounter with God. I'm telling you, when you go through hard times, when you go through trials and tribulations, that is when you are going to meet the real Jesus. My prayer for you, as we're going through turbulent times in our nation, as we're going through turbulent times in the world, as we're going through turbulent times in your finances, maybe you're going through turbulent times in your health, maybe you're going through turbulent times with your job, wherever you're finding that you're going through turbulence, that is when you need to hold on closer to God. Because when I went to heaven and I had that encounter with the Lord, I realized it can't be the same for me anymore. I can't go back to the same old ways, because that encounter touched me in my soul. And I remember that voice. I remember the feeling. I remember everything as if it happened yesterday. Have you had an encounter with God? We're talking about cultivating the heart of worship today. And do you know that the highest form of worship is not the songs you sing? That's great. The highest form of worship is not how loud you can pray. The highest form of worship is not who you're connected to. The highest form of worship, listen to this, if you truly want to worship God the way that the Bible tells us to worship God, is one word: obedience.